Oh, welcome everyone. If you told me today I would be doing a dividend video on none other than GREGGS, I'd have had a good laugh at you. But after a bit of research, it checks out. They're a dividend pair, and if anything, their dividend was growing quite nicely up until, of course, the pandemic, to which they didn't actually pay out a dividend. But we're going to have a deep dive into them here. Going to look through financials, website, their business strategy, just a lot of things. Get a wee good idea as to who GREGGS are. Now, if you live across the water in America, or you live in the UK and for some reason have not encountered a GREGGS sausage roll meme, or have seen a wee outlet of them, they're a bit like Pret. That's a bit like a cafe. Over here in Northern Ireland, say they're a bit like Asher's. Very similarities, not exactly the same, but what they specialise in, as you can see here, are baked sausage roll sandwiches and sweet items, including donuts and vanilla slices. So again, maybe you could even say with the donuts and all, they're kind of similar to Tim Hortons, and they do coffees and whatnot. But again, not the closest similarity. But what do? They pay a dividend. Let's have a deep dive into none other than GREGGS stock. Ticker symbol GRG. They are on the London Stock Exchange on the FTSE 250 index. Not too bad. Let's have a wee look here. Now, over the past 5 years, they've had their ups, they've had their downs. As you can see them in March of 2020 dropping from £24 all the way down to £14, a drop of £10. But then again, a lot of companies did kind of collapse over the pandemic. Stock price didn't recover all the way till November of 2020, where they made a lightning run the whole way until December 2021 to £33. Currently trading at £20 for anyone across the water. That would be about $24. Dividend yield of a modest 2.85%. Not bad at all. They employ 25,000 people and have a revenue of 1.23 billion. They've been around for over 80 years, so that's always a good thing to see. Let's bounce on to their next thing. Oh, yeah, I just had this up for anyone that didn't know. See, sausage rolls are one of those things. You either like it or you're wrong. Well, you can see where I lie on that. I'm just kidding. I do enjoy sausage rolls, though. They are a very, very, I'd say not the healthy, definitely not the healthiest thing in the world you could eat, but they're nice. I enjoy them. Let's pop on over here to GREGGS website. Now, the thing about GREGGS... Oh, did I go on to their investor one first? I did, didn't I? I put these in the wrong order. Goodness, there's only one way to fix this. Sausage roll, you're being requisitioned to get me to GREGGS website. There we go, that's better. Alright, so as you can see, they have everything. They've got breakfast, savoury bakes, drinks, snacks, treats, hot food, sandwiches, and of course, they do click and collect deliveries with Just Eat. You can download their app, find a shop. They've gift cards. They're pretty up to date in what they do. So, GREGGS and Primark. By the way, Primark was actually doing a lot of GREGGS clothes. I think they still are. I have been meaning to get down and purchase some, because listen, who wouldn't want a pair of GREGG like croc looking things, GREGG Crocs, or a tank top that says GREGGS at all? It's great. I love the collabs sometimes at Primark. That's actually where I've got this NFL stuff. I got it all down at Primark. I know. I've got Boohoo shares, and I'm pushing Primark in a GREGGS dividend video. What can we say? What can we say? So over here in the investor relations page, one of the best pages you can use if you're looking into a company. Of course, I'm going to have a quick overview of it for you. So you always recommend you do have a wee look yourself. But I know these videos are meant to be your, I wouldn't say deep dive, but at least a good look over at GREGGS here. Now let's jump over to a bit that I find particularly interesting. Obviously, their investor relation page is to sell the company to you, and they do that very well. So what do? They are a modern food-on-the-go retailer. They sell millions of sausage rolls every week and lots of other great products. They do the manufacturing, they do the logistics, they have their customer channels. They have 2,000 shops. Now, take note here, the 328 franchise partners. That'll be important in a wee bit later in the video. And they do delivery with wholesale partnerships and whatnot. People, they employ 21,000 people. And they have award-winning loyalty schemes. Greggs Rewards builds customer relations. What makes them different? Well, purpose. They make good, freshly prepared food. Okay, a lot of people say that, but let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. We want our products to be the best they can be. I'll be honest, I've rarely ever heard anyone have bad food out of Greggs, even over here. There ain't a lot of them, so, it's not massive catchment, but it's good enough. Convenience. We want to be able to serve customers whenever, wherever, however. They've good value. I'll be honest, I've been in. They're very easy to pay. They're not the most expensive thing you can go into, so there's that. They also have really good service. That's pretty good. Greggs pledge. I don't know. Stronger, healthier communities, safer planet, better business. Maybe that rocks the boat for some people. I just think every company should be doing that by default, but, just trying to be good. That's how we look at the map of Greggs now. A fun fact, they are highly concentrated in Glasgow and Edinburgh, where a lot of the Greggs memes online and funny things come from. Scotland do enjoy their Greggs, it seems, although it is heavily weighted to the middle of England here, Manchester, Liverpool direction, and London, but Pret Manger, I think, has most of the south east, but Greggs is still in a very strong position. This is as of 2020 or 2021, so obviously a few more have opened up. They are actually opening a drive-through Greggs in my wee town over here, so that's quite interesting. I'll be able to, use it a bit more often. Tim Hortons would normally have been my go-to. They've let me down a few times recently, so maybe I might swap over to Greggs. And you never know, maybe they might join the UK Dividend portfolio, lads. You never know. On to the next one now. You've seen they had 328 franchises. Now they've opened their 400th, little over 2 months ago. Like, they are rapidly expanding. So that's fantastic to see. Always a good thing to see when a company keeps opening more stores. Obviously, then there's a demand for it. And, that's a good thing all round for everyone. Their investor relations page, as I was saying, best page for anyone to have if you want to look at anything. Their financials, you want to know about their share price, analyst coverage, shareholder information, financial calendar. Some of them are quite useful. I'm going to just click into the financials. They haven't filled out 2020 and 2021 yet, but the rest of the year still tell a pretty promising story. Year-on-year growth, year-on-year sales growth in both stores and franchise stores. Their margins seem to be improving year-on-year as well. So yeah, it's pretty good. And profit, and mainly profit, is increasing too, along with their dividends per share. Okay, over to Dividend Max, one of my favourite websites, as you all are aware. I'm sure if you've been part of the channel for a while. We have Greggs here. Well, ticker symbol GRG. I don't know if I mentioned that at the start here, but I'm going to give a quick breakdown for anyone that may be new. So essentially, it gives you the information here that they pay 2 dividends per year, excluding specials, although specials can be a wee bit strange in Dividend Max. I've seen them include specials that were actually just a normal dividend. Well, got to read between the lines in these, so yeah. Now, there is an ex-dividend date. You can see here I've highlighted this wee section. Now, what does that mean? Ex-dividend date is the date that you must own the share in order to be entitled for the dividend to land it into your brokerage account. If you own it on the declaration date, good for you, but you need it for the ex-dividend date. If you sell your shares the day after, you're still entitled to the dividend. However, if you sell the day before, or even sometimes in the day of the ex-dividend date, you may not get the dividend payment. So bear that in mind. It's not a super important thing. If anything, it's just information for people that have shares when they are, locked in that they're getting it. The pay date then would be the most important for most people. Give it a day or two afterwards. It doesn't tend to land exactly in on that day, especially US dividends. So bear that in mind. Other than that, shouldn't be too much of a problem. If you had 100 shares, your previous payment would have been 42 and your next payment would have been 15. Okay, not too bad. Though 100 shares of Greggs, that's £20. That's £2,000 and you would get a £15. But if you had, if you had that, you would also have got £42 for £2,000, which, the way I look at it is, most savings accounts wouldn't give you £2,000 or £42 at the end of the year, including another 15. That's nice, although, the stock's price can rise and fall. Again, of course, none of this is financial advice. Never take it like that. But again, these are questions I love to ask myself, and sort of lessons that I carry on in my own decision making. Now, let's have a look here. Annual dividends. So GREGGS is a dividend growth investment. Who would have thought? I definitely wouldn't have thought. But yeah, year on year, they were increasing their dividend, and it was going well till 2019 hit. And let me see, 2019, what happens here? So 2019, again, the chart's weird sometimes. They did pay their final dividend, and they paid their first one, their second one. Heck, they even had a special. Pandemic hits. No dividend payments for anyone. No surprise there. 2021, they recovered. They gave 15 pence out. That was really it. But then they gave a special one out once things fully opened and recovered to 40p. Then they gave another one out of 42p. And then they gave another one out of 15p. So that kind of seems that the situation's stabilised. So I would say they would continue to grow, because just add 42p and 15p, that's 57p. 57p, that's far higher than even their highest rate in 2018. So fantastic. I like dividend growth stocks. GREGGS might be the dividend growth stock that I'm looking for my portfolio. Wow. Incredible to think. I never ever thought I would have said that out loud. Here I stand. Ex-dividend date is the 8th of September, so I could still get in a few shares between now and then if I choose to do so. On the Trading 212, the wee brokerage that I use, let's see here, go to 1 year. GREGGS was trading at £34 and almost as low at £18. But they seem to have stabilised around £20 at the moment. Okay, looking down here. P/E ratio 17.54. Nothing extraordinary, to be honest. Earnings per share is £1. I don't really know who I would put these up against, because there isn't really many people in this field that I can compare the P/E ratio to. I'm going to go with it's not a bad P/E ratio, because we'll look down at the financials. Again, revenue pretty good. Dips into 2020. You've just got to take into account that there was a global pandemic. So for every company, profits and revenue do drop. 2021, we're sort of out of it at that stage, recovering, and profit margins back to a healthy 9.56%, which seems higher than even 2019. And revenue's even higher than 2019. And of course, they're opening more stores. Again, all comes back into, it seems to be going quite good. Okay, and cash flow, again, 2019, good. 2021, even better. And it dips in 2020. Pandemic related, not much else we can put to that. I think you'd be really hard pushed to find anyone that would say anything that it's not pandemic related, especially when it comes to revenue and all in 2020. It's sort of, that's a year we just write it off. Listen, I should be 23, not 24. We should just write that year off. What do you all say? Even 2021, 2 years shaved off the age. That'd be pretty good. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed the video. I don't know. I like it. I actually really like it. Once they open the drive-thru, and I'll be using it myself. Hopefully the drive-thru is open before like the end of the year. I might have a different opinion on it, because a lot of these companies I do use, especially my UK dividend portfolio, an awful lot of them, they're either really good dividend growth stocks. Now, GREGGS technically ticks a lot of my boxes, except I don't like the fact that it didn't pay in 2020. A lot of my dividend growth stocks still did pay in 2020. But again, I have to accept that they were a sort of customer-facing stock, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, isn't it? Or the sausage roll crumbles. Sausage rolls. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, lads. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you in another episode. Bye-bye.